our latest World Cup Spotlight takes a closer look at the #1 team in the world, Spain. La Roja qualified for their 13th straight World Cup and 17th overall. That's the 6th most appearance of all time. Spain are at the top of the FIFA rankings, where they have been since last September, earning the spot after winning the 2024 Euros. Leading the way for Spain's star-studded squad is teenage sensation Lamine Yamal, who helped guide La Roja to a Euros title 2 years ago at the age of 16. The Spanish trophy case is filled with a trio of Euros and the 2010 World Cup title, won by one of the best teams of all time. Luis de la Fuente's side heads into this summer's World Cup as the betting favorites to win another World Cup, thanks to one of the deepest talent pools in the world. Now, lots of eyes will be on Lamine Yamal this summer, given his early international success. Do you think that he's the teenager going into the World Cup with the most pressure that we've ever seen before?
Ever seen is a lot, but you have to say Lamine Yamal probably is in the top 3, and he might not be 3. The amount of expectation for an 18-year-old is absolutely incredible, especially given this age of social media, of instantaneous info being parsed out along the world. Every single move Lamine Yamal makes is being scrutinized under a microscope. That's off the pitch, that's on the pitch. I can't think of much more pressure for a teenager. It's been an absolutely incredible thing to see from the outside, to see this spectacle, this entire kind of production around a teenager. People try not to mention it too much, but the name Messi keeps popping up, and it will continue to pop up. So I can't think of too many teenagers who've had more on their shoulders at this point in their life.
Yeah. I mean,
LeBron James?
to think that Pele won the World Cup at 17 years old, scored in the final.
But I don't think he had the same level of expectation because, as Aaron alluded to, the world of instant information, social media, etc. Funnily enough, I slightly disagree, because I think Spain are very much a collective as a team, and I don't think that the Spanish supporters, or indeed the Spanish team, look at Yamal as their go-to guy every single game. If he doesn't function, we don't win, type scenario. So I wouldn't phrase it, or frame it rather, that he is under intense pressure to deliver. I think there is an expectation that he can deliver, and he's a wonderful, exciting talent. But I think it would be wrong to expect him to have to deliver.
Yeah, I actually don't think that we've seen a teenager, maybe in the modern era, have this much pressure. Kylian Mbappe didn't have the sort of pressure Lamine Yamal had going into a World Cup. We were in awe of Kylian Mbappe, because at 19 years old, he was able to do something that we haven't seen someone do since Pele, which is win the World Cup while being a teenager, right? We were celebrating Lionel Messi scoring his first World Cup goal as a teenager at 18 years old. Michael Owen, were you at that World Cup when he scored his first goal?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I have to ask. I have to do my non-journalistic, duty. So we're celebrating these milestones for goal scoring, but to have won the Euros and to have taken some of the responsibility, I think a large part of the responsibility in the final third for Spain in that drive for the Euros, is one thing. But I agree with you. Who won the MVP of that Spanish team in the Euros? It wasn't Lamine Yamal, it was Rodri. The
reason I hesitated to answer, because I nearly said something, but I don't like name dropping, so that's why I hesitated.
Oh, you can name drop.
All right, I was there with Mick Jagger.
Okay, don't name drop.
That's decent.
Okay.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's decent. That's cool.
Pretty good.
All right, well, let's
segue from that to Phil.
Another rock star. Let's go.
Another rock star that we love to have on Morning Footy here, our CBS Sports La Liga correspondent, Phil Kitromilides. Phil, I mean, what's the talk over in Spain heading into the World Cup this year, especially about what people are saying about Lamine Yamal?
Yeah, I mean, much as it pains me to agree with someone who supports the other team in North London, I think Geoff is absolutely spot on in terms of Lamine being kind of a figurehead for the Spain team, but it's not the be-all and end-all, Lamine's performance for this Spain team, because Spain, their real strength is in the collective, and they do have brilliant individual players. Those brilliant individual players are much stronger as a team. there is a lot of expectations on Lamine Yamal, but I think he's maturing quite a rapid rate. I go to a lot of games in Spain. I've been in a lot of different stadiums this season, and Lamine is getting whistled and booed by opposition players already now for no reason other than the fact that he's really good. So the home fans know that Lamine Yamal is someone to pick out, and he has to deal with that. Okay, it's not the same level as pressure as going into a World Cup, but he has to deal with the level of hostility and scrutiny which comes with being one of the best players in the world. And he is dealing with it really well. He's also dealing with the level of expectations that people have on him in a Barcelona side where they expect him to create. He's making the right decisions. I think we've seen that in his play. He's not shooting as much. He's trying to bring people in more. He's threading passes in more. He's not thinking, I'm the superstar. I need to beat 5 people and then shoot. He's playing for the team. So I think we've seen a level of maturity and development from Lamine Yamal, which is very encouraging from a Spanish perspective.
Now, Phil, there is a never-ending conveyor belt of talent coming out of La Masia, and the player to most recently, I would say, break out has been Fermín López. He has been brilliant this season. What's the talk about him around Spain? How are they viewing him as we move into this World Cup year?
Obviously, he was part of the Euro 2024 squad, played a peripheral part in that triumph. I think he only played 1 game off the bench. But, I mean, Fermín is one of the few players in La Liga with double figures for goals and assists this season in all comps. He's a really useful player. He's a player who, as they say in Spain, he has goal. He has goal. He's got the ability to score goals. Tiene gol, Fermín. And he pops up in the right place and he scores. The good thing about Fermín is that he's also versatile. You can play him on the left of a front 3. You can play him as a number 10. You can play him a little bit further back. I think that could be very useful in a tournament. And I think Fermín is going to be a really important player for Barcelona. For the national team, we'll see what kind of role he gets to play for Luis de la Fuente. But I think he's the kind of player in the kind of form that absolutely has to be on the plane going to the World Cup. And he can be very, very useful on the off the bench. Whether he has a place in the starting 11 remains to be seen.
Phil, Spain are the favourites. How much is there a feeling that is because right now this is Spain's moment, using the momentum from the Euros? But when you look back at Spain's last 3 World Cups, you would say, well, they've faltered on the big stage. So would you agree that this is a different Spain, even though Spain have been very good for a long time, but it just, for different reasons, it hasn't happened for them in World Cups?
Yeah, I agree. And I would say that it's a more settled Spain and it's a calmer Spain camp. I remember the last World Cup with Luis Enrique at the helm. Luis Enrique, absolutely brilliant coach, very polarizing figure in Spain. Half the country didn't really like Luis Enrique because of his ties with Barcelona, and the other half of the country support Real Madrid, and this being a very unique country which is more about clubs than it is about the national teams. A lot of people didn't like Luis Enrique, didn't like what he didn't like his team selection, and didn't fully buy into the national team. That has changed now. I think Luis de la Fuente has done good and bad things, but he's certainly brought a calmness to the managerial role, and you can see that in terms of his team selection, it's pretty settled. Like, he's got his guys. There's some other people around that, but he's kind of got his guys, and people know kind of what to expect from this team. So there's less hysteria around it, and I think winning that Euro 2024 title maybe calmed things down a little bit. Maybe there was a sense amongst the Spanish camp, we've got this really good team, we've got this really good coach in Luis Enrique, we really should win something, and they didn't. But now Luis de la Fuente came in and he's led them to success.
So what about looking at now? Because it's no doubt that Spain has depth of talent at their disposal. But what are the question marks heading into this World Cup? Because there has to be, regardless of the depth that you have, there's always some question marks surrounding any country.
Oh, there are loads of question marks, Claudia. I mean, I could go through each line of the team, and there's question marks in the goalkeeper. Shall we start with that? Who's the starting goalkeeper for Spain? Is it Unai Simon or should it be Joan Garcia? Well, I'll tell you who is the starting goalkeeper. It's Unai Simon. Who should be the starting goalkeeper is perhaps a different question. Luis de la Fuente is going to pick Unai Simon. he is his guy. He completely trusts him and has his backing. Who is the best Spanish goalkeeper at the moment? I think a lot of people would say it's Joan Garcia. Some other people in North London would say it's David Raya, and with good reason as well. But I think it is going to be Unai Simon. Remember, Joan Garcia hasn't even been in the squad yet with Luis de la Fuente, really. So that's a big call for the manager to make. There are other question marks in this team as well. Like I said, we could go through the whole line, because there's question marks in goal. There's question marks in the centre of defence as well. Which centre-backs are going to play here? Because if you look at the centre-backs at the Euros, Robin Lenormand is now 4th choice at Atletico Madrid. Aymeric Laporte has come back to Athletic Club and has struggled for form and fitness. Dean Huijsen has had a difficult start to life at Real Madrid. Danny Vivian went to the Euros and he wasn't at his best as well. Who should be the starting centre-back pairing? There's a lot of people in the country, certainly in the northeast corner in Catalonia, who suggest it should be Eric Garcia and Pau Cubarsí. I don't think that's going to happen, but there are question marks. Who's the best centre-back pairing? And who's going to replace Nico Williams if Nico Williams doesn't go? He's had a injury-plagued season with this pubalgia, this groin problem. He's now being told to stop completely for a while. So who comes in on that left-hand side? Is it someone like Fermín López, who can be a different player but can also play on that left-hand side? Or does he go for a wild card, someone who is a bit more of an out-and-out winger, someone like Brian Hill at Girona, who's been previously capped, somebody like that? Or does he try and wait for Nico and say, listen, he's my guy. We won the Euros with him in 2024. We need to bring him at all costs. But there is a question mark on the left-hand side of the attack, a team that was pretty settled. Now there could be a place up for grabs there. And I haven't even mentioned the midfield as well. The structure of the midfield is all up for grabs as well.
Phil, sorry to cut you off, because this is a burning question for me. And I love that we're talking about each line. But my biggest question, I'm looking at this team, who's going to be the starting number 9, right? Because there was a certainty about this team at the Euros. Alvaro Morata, we saw some of the other players that came in, but I look at this team and it looks like it's almost moved ahead of Morata, or moved beyond Alvaro Morata.
I'm going to be very quick and very simple. Mikel Oyarzabal. Mikel Oyarzabal is the starting number 9 for the Spanish national team. He's in the form of his life for Real Sociedad. He scored for the Spanish national team. He's got great numbers for them. The manager absolutely trusts him. Morata might come in the squad as a backup player, but I think Oyarzabal is unquestionably the number 9 for Spain at the World Cup. He's not that high profile, but he's very, very effective.
Well, thank you so much, Phil. Are you calling a game this weekend?
I am commentating this weekend. I'm doing the Real Madrid game against Osasuna, so looking forward to that.
Well, we always love all the insight, Phil. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.